All right. Chair Griffin, I think we are now live. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Griffin, Chair, and I would like to welcome you to November the 10th, 2021 African American Heritage Commission virtual meeting. We will now call our meeting to order. The City County African American Heritage Commission consists of 9 members. 3 of those members are appointed by Asheville City Council, 3 appointed by Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, and 3 are appointed by 6 appointed members. The commission is to advise the city council and county commissioners about the preservation, interpretation, and promotion of African American arts, history, and culture. All committee members and staff are participating virtually. We appreciate your patience as we work through committee meetings a bit differently. We are streaming live on our virtual engagement hub, which is accessible through the virtual engagement hub link on the front page of the city website, and also linked on the committee page. We also have an option for the public to listen live by phone by dialing 855-925-2801 and entering meeting code 9409. For those of you who plan to speak during our live public comment today, you will need to hit *3 to be put on the speaker queue. I will now go through and introduce all the committee members and staff who are participating virtually. For our committee members, please make sure to mute your microphone if you are not speaking. When you have a question or would like to speak, click raise hand, and when recognized by the chair, unmute your microphone. Please remember to mute your phone after you are done speaking. Committee members. Vice Chair Beverly Miller.
Here.
Dwayne Barton.
Here.
And Aaron Griffin here. Also, Community Engagement Specialist of Buncombe County, Leonard Jones.
Here.
City Council Liaison, Sandra Kilgore.
Good evening, here.
To help our audience follow along, I'll state each section of the agenda aloud. Again, I ask committee members to click raise hand and to be recognized to speak. Please state your name each time you comment. Just a reminder that the public is listening on the phone, and this keeps them up to date on the order of the meeting and who is coming or speaking. Approval of minutes of October 14th, 2021.
Chair Griffin, you're not going to be able to vote on those right now. You don't have quorum. So we'll wait to see if we have a few more people come in.
All right. So we'll
Thank
move
you, sir.
on. Thank you. Staff updates. Oh, hey, Lynn, staff updates. We will hear from City Liaison Brenda Mills.
All right. Thank you. Good evening to all of you. I just have a few pretty significant updates to give you. I would like for you to consider, if you would, and this meeting is not where we're going to decide that, changing your day. I mean, the week of the month, not your time, unless that's what you want to do. We have back-to-back meetings. This week will be your meeting, and then next week I have Human Relations Commission, and it would be nice to have a week buffer just so we can give public notice between that time. And then if there's anything I need to resolve for them, I've got a week to do that. We will be, and that flows me into update on the equity and inclusion department hiring. I'm sorry, let me go back. In changing the day, I'm trying to do research on what what Thursday would work. I'm just trying to look at different ones. Is a Thursday a hard set, or is it just making sure we're at 4:30 in the afternoon? I wasn't sure. I'll take any feedback. Anybody have any qualms? And I'll send the email out about this so that if there's a concern, and then maybe do a doodle poll to see where people are. Is 4:30 good, or would you rather start at 5? I just wasn't sure about everybody's, because I'm new for you guys, so just want to make sure it's not a problem.
I'm open to whatever is best for the good of the group. I don't think we had any heart set in the past as far as our day. So
Okay.
if there's a better day, I'm certainly open to it.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. I'll send out an email. We'll see what we can find out. So update on Equity and Inclusion Department hiring. I accepted the job as permanent director for Equity and Inclusion on the end of October. So I wanted to let you know that you get to be with me a little while longer. I'm very excited about it. All council supported this opening. Myself and Nikki Reed, Nikki Reed was appointed Community and Economic Development Director. So that was announced, and we did not put out a press release, so that's why you didn't see anything. So I'll send you all that information in the upcoming. We start telephone interviews on Friday. Tomorrow's a holiday. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But we do phone interviews for all 3 positions on Friday. We have set up interviews all next week for all of them. We have generally good applicants. If I'm not comfortable with them, then we may have to go back for at least one of them. But I think we have generally pretty good applicants for these. So we're looking forward to that. We've got a city team. What we've done is we have a city team to do the assessment. All of those people will do all 3 positions because they all connect to each other. And that way we can get some better feedback on how they would interconnect with each other. So to just update you, we have a training consultant. That was Paulina Mendez. Yashika Smith was our outreach coordinator. And then we have a position for analysts who main job is to work with Human Relations Commission. But this person will also be dealing with policy, equity policy, which of course the non-discrimination ordinance is one of them. So I'm gonna have our legal folks, Erin Miles is our legal representative. And I actually will have her come and do a presentation on the NDO, non-discrimination ordinance, for you in the near future. So Veterans Day tomorrow, we have an event. The city has an event. You can find that on our engagement hub on the front page of our website at asheville.nc.gov. That's AshevilleNC, no space, .gov. And then an update on reparations. So where we are is we received the survey back November 1st, and we got great feedback, really good feedback from the community. Basically talking about things like making wording simpler. The application is long, but it doesn't take long to answer the questions. But we had to make sure that we help people understand the process. So there'll be 2 sides to your commission. Your commission will be neighborhood nominated, and then you will have people who will nominate themselves as impact area experts. Those impact areas are economic development, education, criminal justice, health. I always get this wrong. Come on, Sandra, help me. Economic development, health, housing. That's the one I always. So housing. I'm gonna have to make an acronym so I can spell it right. People will be able to nominate themselves as subject matter experts in housing. So we're gonna be doing that, and then the neighborhood nominations. We're working with neighborhoods to be able to, we're not telling them what their process is. We're just telling them what the outcome should be. So the neighborhoods we're looking at is East End Valley, Burton Street, Shallow, Heart of Chestnut Hills, Stumptown, and public housing. And so I think I got everybody. And so because Stumptown and Southside don't have regular associations anymore, I'm meeting with Stumptown between Leonard and Rashida McDaniels from the county. They've been working on getting us some folks together for Stumptown for Monday evening. We're going to feed them dinner and Deborah Clark Jones will do a presentation to them, and we'll talk with them about picking a representative for Stumptown. Hard Chestnut Hills is invited to that meeting. And then I met with public housing yesterday to talk about a plan to kind of get out to all the housing areas, ask people to consider nominating themselves to the housing authority, and then we'll work through them to get nominations. So one of the things that was asked for, beyond simplicity, making sure we reach out to all the African American neighborhoods, is they wanted neighborhoods to have more representatives. So our city manager didn't see a problem with it. So our council will be updated. So I'm sorry, Sandra, if I'm jumping the gun from you, but we're going to move the representation from the neighborhood from 13 to 15, and then there'll be 10 in the impact areas. So let me explain about neighborhoods. When you nominate somebody in a neighborhood, it is plausible, as long as they live in Asheville or Buncombe County, they don't necessarily have to live in city of Asheville city limits, because we know people have been relocated to other places. And so we want to make sure that they are able to participate if that's who they would like to nominate. Neighborhood nominations will not be vetted by city council. When we get those 13, nominations, city council will approve them, but only ceremoniously. But they will take that from the neighborhood as these are the people we would like to represent us. And then the impact areas, they will apply to the city and to Buncombe County. So the applications, how we will work that with the county, is that we will receive all the applications. If you know anything about county and city meetings, we're the first and they're the first and third, we're the second and fourth. So if one meeting we do approvals, we've interviewed, we do approvals that day, then the next week they will get the rest of them to consider. If people and specifically want to represent the county, we will send those directly to them. So that's basically it. And then the application process begins Monday, November 15th, and it ends December 22nd. From that point, we will be gathering applications, getting those to city council to review. We have a council boards and commissions committee. They are not having a meeting in December, so they will be looking at those in January, but we will be getting those out to them so they can start reviewing them. In the interim, we will be preparing. I'm going to update the project page. There'll be video teasers out between now and when the applications are due. So you're going to hear some of the folks that spoke at the talks that we had in June. You're going to start seeing teasers out there on social media, so you can hear some of what those folks said. We want to make sure people know we heard what they said, that what they said is important, and we want the greater community to see that. We're going to pay for pushed advertisement through social media. We'll be on. We've got a contract with WRES. There should be a news or interview out with Deborah Clark Jones and myself in the Urban News mid-November. So we'll have that. And so if you guys can think of any ways in which we can get more information out, that would be great. I'll be attending neighborhood meetings. Like I said, we've got Sunday is Southside meeting. We have a neighborhood member hosting that. So we have about 20 of them. They're doing they're doing great job with community planning. And so at their last community planning meeting, I asked, could we get them together? And they were really delighted about that. So we're going to be meeting with them on Sunday at 4. And then, like I said, Heart of Chestnut Hills, Stumptown, and possibly some public housing folks on Monday. And then we'll just continue to meet with communities, answer any questions, that kind of stuff. So I think that's it for me. Thank you, Chair Griffin.
Thank you. So, County Liaison Leonard Jones, you have an update for us?
Currently, right now, I don't have much to update. Again, the county is starting our comprehensive plan for a 20-year vision for the county. So I continue to push that information out. You probably get more awareness is going on, especially on the consultants and stuff should be in the area around January. However, we with this comprehensive plan, we're trying to be very intentional in searching out unrepresentative residents in our community, and that can be in the rural areas, it can be the BIPOC population, Latinx community, and just with this 20-year plan, we're gonna that's what we're strongly kind of leaning into. And we just kind of echo what Brenda was saying in terms of reparation. The county is in partnership and collaboration with that process. And so that's another initiative that's going on from the county perspective. And I believe that's all I have to add today. I know in terms of like COVID fundings with the House and the tax relief initiative that was going out, I think our deadline was November the 15th. So in the community, in terms of those who, with the new tax appraisals, was had struggles with that. We had that information going. I believe it's been out for the past few months, and I think we're coming up on the deadline of it for those individuals that wish to apply residence in the county. And that's all I have to add tonight.
Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
Council Liaison Sandra Kilgore.
Hi. Yes. First of all, we had a very short meeting, our last council meeting. In fact, the shortest one I think we've had the whole year. But make a long story short, the one thing that we did discuss is the new relationship that we'll be working with the 911 consolidation line, where we basically will working with City of Asheville, police, fire department. They're working with Buncombe County to consolidate it into one 911 call service. And that way we can actually control as far as the time to respond, and also be able to hopefully cut the cost to the city going forward. They already are working with the city of Wolfen. I think it's Black Mountain is already a part of it, and we're joining on. We voted unanimously to put it in place. However, it does go to Buncombe County, I think November 16th, if I'm not, for their approval. And other than that, pretty much Brenda covered a lot of the things that we discussed, and we're looking forward to a lot of new things coming down the pipe that will really affect and have an impact on our community. And also, I think November 15th was also, was our cutoff for the the ARPA funds. Was that right, Brenda? Yes, and we've received tons of applications, and it's going to take them a minute to, get through. But I think that would definitely make a huge impact in the community going forward. So thank you all very much. And please feel free to reach out if there's anything I can do or any questions I can answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Unfinished business. I have none noted for unfinished business. So on that note, we'll move it right along to new business. We have an update for the Asheville's African American Heritage Trail, Pack Caps, Explore Asheville.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I have an update to give you, and Brenda's going to show some slides. And also, I would like to invite Miss Catherine to jump in at any point because she's heavily involved in this project. But I can go ahead and get it started. So, I work for Explore Asheville, which is the Buncombe County Tourism Development Authority, and I manage the grant programs. And this project, the African American Heritage Trail, is a project that came to Explore Asheville through our grant program in 2018, and that was submitted by Riverfront Development Group, which is Miss Catherine. And for funding. And this project was very much you can move it to the next slide, Brenda, sorry. The project is very much in alignment with goals of our organization to document and preserve history, learn more stories from the broader community, and be able to amplify those messages and those stories. And so traditionally, this grant program is a reimbursement situation, but because this project is so much in alignment with our goals, we are partnering with Ms. Catherine as a lead advisor and implementing this project and funding it 100%, and then ensuring that it will be maintained. It'll become part of our signage project because our organization also manages wayfinding signage that you see all throughout Buncombe County. So the goal of the project is to develop content in collaboration with community. So that is a primary goal that is community-led. So for every phase of this project, we have community input opportunities. And ultimately, it will be a walking trail. It's based on the original proposal that we received from Riverfront Development Group and budgeted to be so. So that would be a walking trail that's in and around downtown Asheville. And once this trail is completed, we also envision creating a digital version of the trail so you can access it while you're on the street from your phone or anywhere and follow along and access additional content, audio like oral histories or more photos or deeper stories. So that is the plan. And you could go to the next slide, please. And so you can see here, the trail route is not defined at this point. We have a rough outline that was provided in the proposal, and we're currently doing research and to see what would be the best options to present to public for their input to see what should be featured on the trail and what route. And so you can see here that it's loosely envisioned to go through these 4 neighborhoods, from East End Valley Street area through downtown, across through the block, through South Side, and then over to Depot Street and River Arts District. And as it stands now, we're envisioning this to be up to 19 markers. And some of these markers might also be incorporated for places that are already existing. So there's a lot of opportunity to get creative with this trail. In addition to historical markers, we are envisioning that a couple of these stops could become bigger, public art pieces. So maybe a sculpture or a mural or some sort of plaza. And so we really are looking to hear from community to see, what stories, what people, what locations, rise to the surface that would be a good fit for that as well. You could go to the next slide, please. So developing this project, we envision these 4 phases, and we've completed phase 1, which I'll go into detail about that in a little bit, but that was community engagement. That was basically introducing the project to the community. Unfortunately, this happened in 2019 and early 2020, and then we all know what happened in 2020. So things really got sidelined, but we were back up and running. And we're in the second phase where doing the research and story development. And then we just completed a community engagement phase for that, which I could share information about that too. And then the third phase, which will be happening next year, is actually designing the markers, creating what this experience will be like. And of course, we'll have another phase of community input to get feedback and help shape that. And then the last phase would be the fabrication and the installation. And then our marketing team here will start working on the digital version of that. And then we want to promote it and share this with people who live here and also people who visit here. And so the target completion date of the walking trail would be, fingers crossed, end of 2022. So if you could go to the next slide. I just wanted to share what we, now we see formatting issues. But anyways, I wanted to share what we've done so far, and this is pre-COVID, how we went through this phase of community engagement, and that was to introduce the project and get initial feedback. And so we had online surveys just to get some general input on what people were thinking of. We had focus group calls with others in the community who are working on similar projects, also with city staff, trying to get an understanding of the bigger picture of other things that are related to this. And then we hosted some listening session workshops and then also participated in the conference at UNCA, the African Americans in Appalachia. And then we hosted another an event at the YMI by a woman named Dina Bailey, and she presented this talk called Telling the Whole Story. And Dina Bailey actually lives in Atlanta, and she worked on the Center for Civil and Human Rights Museum in Atlanta, and also worked on the Underground Railroad Museum in Ohio, and has a lot of experience. So that was an interesting perspective as well. And so through all that output, I think you can go to the next slide. I'm sorry. These are some pictures of some of those listening sessions. They were held in different parts of the community. So I think here you can see Stevens Lee was one location. Also the Friendship Center in Shiloh was another location. And we got a lot of great feedback. And one thing though we did hear was that people were expecting to see, more about the trail already, and they wanted something to react to. So we knew we had to go back and start doing research. So the next time we went out for community input, we would have things for people to start to react to. I think you can go to the next slide at this point. So what did we learn from that, that round of engagement? Where there were several themes that came up. And you can see here in the slide, there were basically these sort of 4 buckets that are shaping like the content that's being researched. And so that's the accomplishments and contributions of the Black community in Asheville. Also wanting to highlight groups that were developed and supported the community through the years. It's like A score for one example. You'll see that in one of the stories. Agency and the capacity to express individual power came up time and time again. And finally, the combating misconceptions and preserving history for future generations. If you could go to the next slide. So all of that is actually, if you wanted to dig in, there's a bigger report that goes into detail about those findings, and that's can be found on our website, ashevillecvb.com. So you can go to the next slide. As I mentioned, we went into research mode and looked around our community to see what were the appropriate partners. So we went to UNC Asheville. We went to Pack Memorial Library, which is Buncombe County Special Collections. We went to the North Carolina Department of Cultural Resources office that's in town. And we ended up working with the researcher that was recommended by Dr. Waters and developed a collection of stories to use as a jumping off point for this next round of engagement. And so we just completed that. Hopefully some of you have heard about this and were able to participate. But we developed a collection of stories that were on display at the YMI's Community Impact Center. It was for the month of September, and we extended that into October. And this was publicized throughout town. And so you could actually go to the YMI and fill out the survey there, or you could view all of this information online. We hosted a few Zoom sessions, or you could just access this information on your own, which was also hosted on our website, and take the survey digitally. And then some groups had reached out to us to have, to come into the space and spend some time there. So we did that as well. And if you could go to the next slide. This is a screenshot of the website page where the stories are hosted. And so through that effort, we received 160 responses, and we're currently just pulling those together and assessing those and compiling them to help us figure out, did we hit the mark? Was this collection of stories related to those themes that we heard from the first round of engagement? And what's missing, and what do we need to go out and do more research on, so that we can go and put together more refined information, and then go back out to the community to get their input with like more structure. This is what a trail marker could look like. This is exactly where it could go. These are the graphics, that sort of thing. So can you go to the next slide? So an opportunity that y'all might want to consider is it was recommended that we create an advisory committee. So that would be made up of people in the community who are related to the project and or interested and want to participate. And this committee would help us go through that survey input and make some decisions on what direction to move in. And, work on the trail themes, help define the route, the design, and narrow down some of these choices before we go back out for another round of community input. And then ultimately, we're helping that the advisory committee will also serve as like a connectors to community, will help promote awareness of the project. And then there's a lot of opportunity for figuring out ways to activate the trail once it is complete. What are their business opportunities? What are ways to incorporate, our local artists and children? It's been discussed that the trail marker might be like a two-sided marker that has, story content on one side and original artwork provided by, our local artists and children that relate to the particular site. So there's all kinds of opportunities. And so basically, that's what we're looking at doing at this point. And we're working with Aisha Adams under her Equity Over Everything organization to help manage that process for soliciting applications for the advisory committee. And then the goal would be to start having meetings as early as January and move through the survey input and get ourselves ready to go out for another round of community input in spring. So that is my update, and I'm happy to answer any questions and also yield to Ms. Catherine if you want to chime in or add anything.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, still.
No, ma'am, you're muted. There should be a little mic at the bottom of your screen. Oh dear. Can you see the mic? Can you see the mic at the bottom of your screen? Should be the far left. There's a mic and then there's a little camera. And
Okay.
There you go.
You did a wonderful job, Pat. I don't think I could add too much more to that, except to observe that participation by the commission wasn't exactly as full as I had anticipated, but I do hope that the full commission will participate in the next round. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. So, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, Caps, for the update. I'm looking forward to, getting on that trail myself. And any way that I can help out or assist, I'm here and I'm ready.
Thank you so much.
And also, I'd like to thank, I am so happy to see that TVA has jumped in to realize Miss Catherine's dream. I realize that's something she's been working on for a long time, and for TVA to step in and to, make sure it's done right. And the fact that they will actually maintain it and preserve it and to actually grow, that you can't find, groups that do that. And I think that's amazing. And Miss Catherine, thank you so very much for, like I said,
Yes.
put the dream out there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Pat.
So, Brenda, do we have any?
We do not have
members
any. This is
in the public?
no,
I'm sorry.
sir. No, you're fine. We do not have any live callers,
Okay.
and I'm hoping that because you just lost your quorum when Dwayne left, you lost your quorum to approve the minutes. So if he doesn't come back, we can approve him next time. No problem.
Okay. Any ideas from staff? The staff will list I'm asking any more ideas that staff could list, any
regarding, I'm sorry.
regarding future agenda.
Yeah, well, that's you guys.
That's us.
Yeah. Now,
Any
one thing
ideas?
we did talk about, Dina Bailey did reach out to you, I believe.
Yes.
So that's who Pat is talking, Ms. Kappas is talking about in terms of the consultant that helped on this project.
Mhm.
I think it'll be great. She's got a project she'd like to partner with this commission on. So maybe we could ask her for the December meeting to come and just present.
Yeah, she's ready. She sent me an email today and she wants to know about December. Also, I heard from Dr. Lawler from UNCA about the project that they're working on, and they wanted to do a presentation to the commission, but the dates that they gave me was not the dates that we meet. So it's like the 14th or the 16th of this month, really.
Okay. Well, if you want to, if you'll share, if you'll just tell her when we're going to be looking at maybe changing your dates, not for December, maybe for January. Maybe we can get her in on January.
Okay.
That'd be great. Is that the project on urban renewal?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. I thought so. Chair Griffin, you do have a quorum now if you're interested in, if you want to go ahead and get a motion and approval for your minutes.
Approval of minutes of October the 14th. We have a motion of approval for October.
I so move. This is Lynn.
Okay.
I second, Catherine.
We need one more?
No, you're good.
We're good.
You have a motion and a second. If you'll call for discussion, if there's none, then just take a roll call vote. So you'll have to call their names again. Doing great.
Thank you. Do we have anything that we need to discuss? Any questions, ideas, anything? Any concerns? No? Okay. So our next
you muted yourself.
Our next regular meeting is scheduled.
Hold on, Chair. So you have a motion and a second to approve the minutes.
Motion and a second for the minutes.
With no discussion, hearing none, call for a vote, and then you call their names out, and they have to vote. You're doing great. You got a great attitude. Thank you.
Thank you. So, where are we?
It should be on that front page.
Let's see. Vice Chair Beverly Miller.
Yes.
Lynn Michelle Smith.
Aye.
Dwayne Barton.
Aye.
Catherine Mitchell.
Aye.
And am I missing?
You.
And me, Aaron Griffin. Aye. So our next regular meeting is scheduled for Thursday, December the 9th, 2021, and remains virtual. Check on the city's engagement hub for more directions on how to participate. I will now adjourn the meeting unless any objections. So adjourn.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.